How's it going, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over my EVA deck profile, which got new support from DZ-BT06, Generation Dragenesis. So EVA got a new research card that allows you to recycle your poison EVAs, and it gives power to your glitter units, counting your upkeep dies. So a lot of power, a lot of versatility and accessibility by being able to reduce the number of poison EVAs in the deck and play more beefy or more resource focus cards. So today I'm going to be showing you guys my updated EVA deck. And with that, let's just go ahead and jump right into the deck profile. All right, so jumping right into the deck profile, like we usually do, we're going to start with the ride deck. The ride deck is going to be all the EVAs. Nothing has changed. For those who don't know about the EVA ride line, it's pretty simple. The grade 1 and the grade 2, search for your research cards. So on grade 1, you want to search your grade 1 research order till you can play it. The grade 2, you play the grade 2 EVA order, which is the Imprisoning Past, which allows you to recycle your poison EVAs. So you want to be able to play that on turn 2. And then on your grade 3 turn, with Fountain of Knowledge EVA, you can use its Act ability, which allows you to look at the number of cards at the top of your deck equal to the number of cards in your order zone, add any card you want to your hand. Then you use your Immigrars or your support cards to then Superior Ride Poison EVA from the deck and get another set order. Just get accumulating a bunch of just deck thinning and toolboxing with EVA. So right off the bat, you're already pulling non-triggers out of your deck. So there's a lot of deck thinning and multi-attacking with this deck. With that, we're never using the auto ability for Fountain EVA. We're only using the Act ability because you're always writing a new grade 3 every turn. So with that, let's just go ahead and jump right into the main deck. Starting with the grade 3s, we run 2 copies of Poison EVA. We were running 4, we're now back down to 2 because Imprisoning Past, which is the new set order, allows you to put Poison EVAs back to the bottom of your deck, allowing you to re-ride with Imigrar pretty consistently every single turn. So as long as you have a Poison EVA in your drop zone to put back into the deck, you're always going to be able to get off that skill, which allows us to free up more space in the deck for more fun cards. With that out of the way, we're just going to go ahead and jump to the rest of the grade 3s, which is our Knight of Blackness Upski died. So this guy is always going to be our go-to finisher. He's a rear guard that gains a crit when it's placed by a card ability and you have an EVA Vanguard. It also has the effect of if you have 3 or more set orders, he gets 10k on attack. So if you call him from the deck, he gets a crit. If you have multiple set orders, he gets 10k. And on, he also has the effect of being able to intercept and get 10k shield. Just continuously, as long as you have an EVA Vanguard. So it's a 10k shield from hand, or it's an interceptor. So it's really good on the board. And we also have protection to make sure that it stays on the board so we can intercept with it. Poison EVA, just to go into its skill, because I kind of glossed over that. Whoopsie. What Poison EVA does is when it's placed onto the Vanguard circle, you can search your deck for up to 1 research card. And then if you did not ride this turn, you can activate Persona Ride. So basically you can ride over Fountain EVA, get off Persona Ride right after you search for your research card, some more deck thinning. And then it also has the effect of when it attacks, you remove Fountain EVA from your soul and bind it, search your deck for an Upski died, and this unit and the Upski died get 5k. So you're triggering Upski died's crit ability, and then at the end of the turn, you ride Fountain EVA on top of Paradise EVA so that, you can do the effect again next turn, and it also fills soul. You just soul blast it, put it back into the deck, re-ride pretty consistently. So that is it for the main deck, grade 3s. We're going to go ahead and jump into the grade 2s. So with us being up to free up space, we're going to run our 4 copies of Flame Upski died. The reason for this is because it's more shield, and it also has a really cool effect where you can attack your opponent's front row if this was placed by a card ability and you have your EVA Vanguard. It also gets 5k power and 5k shield if you have 3 more set orders. So it's, again, like I said earlier, it's a 10k shield, but also a 15k beater, which is nice. So more shield, can't go wrong, and it's an Upski died, so it's searchable from the deck or drop zone, which is nice. With that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the last bit of our normal unit grade 2s, which is our 3 copies of Combined Rusher. So Combined Rusher is able to call itself from the drop zone when you play a card into your order zone. So every time you put a set order in, you counterblast, call Combined Rusher back to your board, and then this allows you to swing with Combined Rusher, call up Ski Died on top of it, setting it back into the drop zone so you can call it back again next turn. The only counterblast you really use in this deck are EVA and Combined Rusher, so you can pretty consistently get the Combined Rusher out over and over each turn. It also has the effect of when it attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, you have 3 or more, no, 2 or more orders in your order zone, it gets 10k power. So you can use this early, you can discard it, ride to grade 2, play a set order, call Combine Rusher, swing as a beat stick, intercept with it, call it back, and then when you get your 3 set orders, it's a 20k beater. Or your 2 set orders, now it's a 20k beater. Very, very, very versatile, very good unit for EVA. I definitely recommend it at 3. So that is it for the grade 2s. We're just going to go ahead and jump now into the grade 1s. So with the grade 1s, we have our MVP, which is Examination Monster Imigrar. So Imigrar is super broken for EVA. Basically, you can put it into the soul to search your deck for Poison EVA and ride it. And if you didn't already ride during the ride phase, you can activate Persona Ride with EVA's ability. So allowing you to Persona Ride and search for a card out of your deck to ride and get an additional card in your hand is just super free. Just free Persona Ride every single turn without having to hard draw into it is so awesome. It also has the ability of when it's in the drop zone, when you play a card into the order zone, so when you're playing your research orders, you can Energy Blast 3, call it to the rearguard circle, and it gets 2k. Find this early, ditch it for your ride phase, discard, and then as you're playing your order cards, bring this back, move it into the soul blast it out so it's back in your drop zone again, and keep calling it back out to keep Persona Riding Poison EVA over and over again. So this deck is very, very toolboxy, consistently able to find Imigrar is always really nice, but we want to run the 4 copies so that it is easier to find it. Next up for our grade 1s, I am bringing back Wavy Loss. So we are running 2 copies of Reception Monster Wavy Loss because, you know, we don't really need the power as much now that Imprisoning Pass adds additional power to your Upskidaids or your glitter units in general. So I feel like the monster that just like boosts up the power is kind of like redundant. And I do like the fact that now we can go back to wanting to Soul Blast so that we can get Poison EVA out of our drop zone and also get the Imigars out. So Wavy Loss is good because when you place it, you Soul Blast 2, you draw a card, and then if you have 3 or more research orders, it gets 5k, so it's a 13k beater or booster. So overall good card, just helps you set up so you can get your Persona Ride off easier each turn. Lastly, for the grade 1s, we got our 3 monster PGs. This is because it is a monster, and we still are running torrential research, which allows you to search for monsters from the top 5, and you might as well try and get a hit. If you don't want to run the monster PGs, I really don't think you have to. I think I just like it because it's a PG that can be searched, and you get such a big hand anyways. The having 1 or less in hand to PG doesn't come up as often in my opinion, but to each their own. I just like having another monster as a target for torrential research, but that's just me. So with that out of the way, that's all the grade 1s, or at least the grade 1 normal units, and we're going to go ahead and move on to our trigger units. So the trigger lineup is super simple. We have our 4 Decker Cop, 4 more vanilla crits. I'm just doing Star Aggression Dragon for flavor. I am keeping the Empyro fronts because I don't really think I need the soul too much. So there's a new front trigger that puts itself into the soul after you guard with it, but you're losing it on the extra shield. I'd rather have the shield. I don't really think there's too much an issue with the soul for EVA. If you're just really consistent and you time your soul blasts effectively, you don't really have to worry about overdoing it on your soul blast. So I think I'd rather have the shield. That's just me, but you know, you guys do what you will. Then we have our Alter Rate Sphere heal triggers. These are also for flavor and they're just vanillas. And last but not least, our Eldo Breath over trigger, one of the most broken over triggers in the game. It doubles the power of all your units and also doubles their crits. So when you play your Upskidaids and they already have 2 crit on them, now they have 4. So you could really just push early, even on your first grade 3 turn, call an Upskidaid, give it 100 mil, give it 4 crit, swing at your opponent. Your opponent's like, I don't have a PG, I have to take 4 damage. And that's the end of the game. So I'm a big fan of Eldo Breath. If you would rather go with something like Valnut, just to restand Upskidaid, go for it. But I think the Hundo Mills and the crits are fun. So I'm sticking with Eldo Breath. But try Valnut. It's probably fun if you haven't already. So triggers are now out of the way. We're going to finish it off with our order cards. So for orders, we did get a new Regalis piece, which is the Fire Regalis. So what this does is you cannot play it, but you can remove it from your hand or drop zone. So it's good discard fodder for your ride deck. What it does is after you remove it, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and look for a card and reveal it. If you did not reveal a card, you draw a card after you shuffle. If you revealed a card that is grade equal to or less than your Vanguard, you can call it to rear. So just call anything from your deck if it's a normal unit. Or if you revealed a glitter card, you can put it into your hand instead. So if you, for whatever reason, want to put an Upski Died in your hand for shield, now you do. You have more shield in your hand thanks to your Fire Regalis. But if you need a board, if you need to call an Immigrant or you need to call your Combined Rusher, this is also very helpful for that. And it is more deck thinning. So this is a great, great card for EVA. It's absolutely fantastic. Going into research orders, we are running 3 copies of The World is a Blue Research Lab, which is when it's put into the order zone, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose a unit from among them, call it, then shuffle your deck afterwards. This triggers your Upski Died abilities because they're being called by a card effect, which is really nice. Again, the Fire Regalis also does that, so keep that in mind. This also has the actability of Soul Blast 1, rest 3 of your other orders, and you can then give a glitter unit 5k, so you can make your Vanguard a little beefier and Upski Died a little beefier. But the important thing is because it is an actability Soul Blast, after you do your Superior Ride with Poison EVA, you can Soul Blast to put the Immigrant back into your drop zone, you know, kind of helping you set up for the next turn, which is really nice. The power doesn't hurt either. Next up, we got the new research order, which is Imprisoning Past. This card is crazy good. You play this if you have an EVA Vanguard. In the order zone, once per turn, when your glitter unit is placed on van or rear, you can choose that unit and give it 5k. So you can either do it for your Poison EVA or you can do it for your Upski Died when it's called from the deck. Whichever way you want to do it. We run 2 just so that if when you play the second one, you can have split it, both get 5, or you can just double up and give the Upski Died 10k, which is nice since it already gets 10 and a crit on its own. Lastly, it has an actability. When it's in the order zone, you Soul Blast 1, rest this unit, choose a glitter card from your drop zone, put it to the bottom of your deck. So this is where we were talking about earlier. What I also like to do is if I didn't use Research Lab to Soul Blast and Immigrant, you can still do the same thing here. Act, Soul Blast, rest this, get rid of the Immigrant, put a Poison EVA to the bottom of your deck. But same thing here. After you pay the cost, you can then put the Poison EVA for the cost back to the bottom of your deck, which is pretty cool. I am pretty sure that is how it works. So you can consistently re-ride, rest this, put the poison to the drop, put it back to the bottom of your deck, then use Immigrant to re-ride it over and over again. So definitely want to guarantee this in your order zone. So we're running 2, 2 for the guarantee basically. So if one goes to damage, we have the other one to search. Doubling up on the power is also really cool. We're also running 2 copies of henceforth the grade 1 order. This is so that we can play a grade 1 early if we need to. It also gives Upski Died's protection from decks like Varga because it has the continuous ability. All your rear guards with Upski Died cannot be retired by your opponent's card effect. So it's not choosing, it's just saying they straight up cannot be retired. It also has the actability of if you have 4 or more research cards in your order zone, you can move this to Soul, countercharge 1, choose an Upski Died from your drop, put it in your hand so you get more shield back. It also fills your Soul, gives you countercharge if you need it. So this is also a great research order to get early if you're playing against a control deck or a deck like Varga. Get this, play it, you're protected for the turn. And then our last research order is Torrential Energy Research. We are running this because we do have monsters in the deck and we want to get Immigrant. So if you know you're not playing against a control deck, you can search this out, play it, turn 1, top 5, hopefully see Immigrant, put it into your drop zone or put it in your hand if you want to. What it allows you to do is you look at the top or reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 monsters, put 1 in your hand, put 1 in drop. So that's why we run the monster PGs, so that from the top 5 we find a monster PG, we can put that in our hand and the Immigrant can go to the drop zone. Just more monsters to find, and then Wavy Loss can go to our hand as well to help us draw more cards and, get cards out of our soul. That is our setup for research cards and our Regalis piece. We're going to finish things off here with our Blitz orders. So I am running 2 copies of Freezing Wave. You can run 1 to 2. I'm running 2 because I think I can kind of get away with it. What it does is you Soul Blast 1, choose one of your units being attacked. It gets plus 10k power for each rested card in your order zone. So if you're counting using Imprisoning Past plus Blue World, so you just rest all those order cards, you can give your Vanguard anywhere between like plus 20 to 30 or 40, 50k, depending how many rested research orders you have. This can be a 1 card like 30k shield or 40k shield card. which is really cool. It only costs Soul Blast, so again, if you have tons of soul to work with and you kind of time it well, or you use your Henceforce to put in the soul and you plan on using that for Freezing Wave, these are all different examples of ways you can get around using this card. I do feel like people want to run this as just a one of, just so that on the off chance that they do run out of soul, this isn't a dead card in their hand. And at the end of the day, it's up to you. I've also seen decks that'll drop a Freezing Wave to run a Bulba Mine. That's another option. Fill more soul, get more counter charge, whatever works for you. And then lastly is our Elementaria Sanctitude, because this card is just good for every deck. It is played as a blitz order. If your opponent has triple drive, it's free. You can only run one Elementaria Sanctitude in deck, and it's a Sentinel, so it's our 4th Sentinel in our deck. Like I said, pretty much every deck is running one of these, so of course we're running one as well. But that is it for the deck. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you all coming out, checking out my deck profile. If you like this deck profile, be sure to check out any of our other recent deck profiles or any of our card fights where we feature these decks. And also be sure to check out 50 Cards if you haven't already. If you're looking for easy ways to upgrade your decks, you can check out their nation bundles, which you just pick a nation from an upcoming set, get a full play set of every single card in that nation, makes updating your decks way easier, and you can use code Nexus to get 5% off at checkout when you're using 50 Cards to update your decks. And with that, my name is Richard, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.